We have come to the second round of the Youth Nations Cup qualifying rounds, consisting of nine rounds throughout the year. And we have got a full day ahead of us, starting with the Children on Horses class. We've got 9 nations coming forward here. It's a two-round competition run under Nations Cup rules. And the first competitor out was representing France. This is Maxime Bouquet, and he is riding the 13-year-old Bay Mare by Nabav Derev. Had a good run in the Grand Prix Series in the Amateur Tour back in March, and was winner of the Nations Cup back in Italy. So comes here in good form. Hopefully the weather will start to improve as the day goes on. It's very overcast at the minute and raining here. Just down to the double there, through the turn. There's 12 fences in this course with 15 jumping efforts, and time allowed is 81 seconds. Combination consisted of 1 stride into 2, oxer going in. Then we come down to the water tray, and a nice roll back to a vertical. Interesting position there, it's right next to the water feature with all the flowers round, so it'd be interesting to see if the horses can keep their concentration there. And then down to the water jump there. The rider's just taken a correction there, so it'd be interesting to see what level distance that is as the class progresses. Flimsy little plank at the CWD fence, that's going to take some jumping, and down to the last fence. Nice level distance to the oxer. So straight away as we look at this course, we can see that the course builder has given us quite a few rollback turns there to the verticals and the oxers, and then the combination is in the middle of the arena. So moving on now to our second competitor is the first rider for Portugal. This is Felipe Manguas da Costa, and he is riding the Colombo de Quartz Chestnut Mare, 11-year-old. This was last seen in the Nations Cup in Belgium, where they were actually winners. Sorry, this was 4th in the 130 in Spain in March and 1st in the 130 in Villamor in February. So they've been on the tours, and they've come here in good consistent form. Just now need to rebuild the confidence there through the turn. Such a big ask for these children on horses. Down to the vertical by the pond. Gets there on the 9 to the water tray, to the water jump. It's just last couple of fences here now. Time allowed is 81 seconds, remember. It's going to be okay on the time. And finishes on 8 faults there.
Penalties from Felipe Miguens Malta da Costa, and a time of 79.08 for the first rider from Portugal.
So moving now on to the third competitor. Now we're on for Switzerland. Walk on Me. This is the 70-year-old grey mare, and this has come from, was 4th in Italy in the Nations Cup. Had some really good placings as well leading up to this. Starts off with a nice quality canter there. This is by the great stallion Coronet Obolensky. That double comes quite early on in the course, so you'd want the riders just to have a nice, good quality, confident canter over those first 2 fences. Doesn't look the easiest to ride round the corners here, but she's doing a good job so far. Into the combination down the middle. One stride into two there. Just gained the ground down there. Oh, and has just caught his eye on that water tray. That water tray is just set right in the middle of that oxer, and we've also got the poles which have got the lines going the opposite way, so it really catches the horse's eye after the combination. That comes quite quickly. It looks like most riders are going to go the 9 strides down to the water jump. Then we're just going to see how this white plank right near the end of the course jumps this time. All of us, it seems to have been the fence that's catching everyone out at the minute. She's over that, just down to the last oxer, so she's finishing the round with confidence here. A few time faults to add there as well.
8 jump penalties on the course for Elodie Hanselman, plus 16 for the
so she
time
finishes on 24.
A time of 96.85. Ouais, 24 points au total pour la cavalière suisse, 96.
So we're now moving on to the first rider for Sweden. And this is the 16-year-old bay mare ridden by Wilman Linnell, and they have coming in from good form from Belgium. They were at Belgium at the start of April, where they've had numerous placings there, and they've also jumped a few 140s back at the end of last year. So a nice CV here coming into this competition. Again, number 3 is proving to be difficult to jump. That really comes really early on in the course. Fence 3 with a double, especially with all the pressure on these children. That's a real catchy line there that he's put there to catch these riders. And again, having a mistake coming out the combination. So that combination, the second part, is riding very short. It's coming back towards the collector ring, and the horses are really gaining distance there. Just control around the corner there. Now just needs to get this horse back together just to come up this last line. Oh, just lost it all. It's broken. But the horse has been careful at the planks. And actually, it probably did her a favour there, just coming back to pop that, and she's finished on 8 faults, but again, well inside the time. So, if you keep a good rhythm up round the corners and don't lose yourself into the corners of the arena, the time allowed is easy to get. You just got to keep a nice, consistent rhythm all the way round. So we now move to Belgium, and this is the 9-year-old stallion Cache de la Curve, ridden by Clement Lux, and this is the first rider that comes here in good confident form. Lovely jump over the first. No martingale on this horse, just lets it run nice and open. Really neat technique over the vertical there. Just needs to balance now. Wouldn't want to be in this combination too forward. Easy. You see again making that second part really short, but she sat up nice and tall there, and the horse actually tried for her to jump that. That's definitely riding short down the combi. That's going to be the fence to catch people out in this course. This and the CWD plank towards the end are the two that the riders need to be mindful of. So last 3 to go here. Looks good for the time. She rode that well, just gave herself time to get herself straight. Ah, that was very, very unlucky there.
Oh.
She's done everything brilliant, the whole course.
What a nice first round for Clémentine Lux, but unfortunately
really good, confident round, but very unlucky at the final fence then.
For the time. of the first
So
rider
we're
from
now
Belgium,
moving on
Clément
to
Lux,
the
very,
first
very
for
loud
Germany. So
solo
rider
sur
number
ce dernier
6.
obstacle
This is
pour
Charlotte
la
Boucan,
cavalière belge.
and she is riding the 15-year-old mare. And this comes here with form from Belgium in March. She has a good place at 125 and 135 level just before Christmas.
De l'Allemagne qui prend le départ, première cavalière pour l'équipe chilienne d'Allemagne avec Keisha.
So she's just started with a little bit more relaxed canter here. So it'd be interesting to see if she's going to get inside the time. She's going to probably have to just pick the tempo up a little bit, which she has done there. Gave herself a nice chance to jump the double.
Of 8 on this course for Emily Gulliver and Ferdinand 8 in a time of 84.21. Spain on the start.
Okay,
right now with the
we're
first
back
rider,
now, and we are moving on to Spain. So this is the 16-year-old Chestnut Salle Francais gelding, and this is our first rider for Spain. Nice big striding horse here, keeping a good rhythm through the first 3 fences. Just needs to sit tall and balance down through this combination here. She rode that well. Just had a look at that. That water tray is catching a few. That line down the middle is just in the middle of the arena, so the horse and rider are left very open down through the middle there. A lot to see either side, and they're running just a little bit short to the second part of the combination, and that water tray just comes up as a bit of a surprise to them. Last two to go. Looks like we're going to be okay on the time again. Up and over the last and inside the time. So just to finish on 4 penalties there.
In a time of 78:36. Et bien voilà, nous avons passé les premiers cavaliers de chaque nation.
So we now move back to the French rider, the second for the French rider. This is the 17-year-old Chestnut Star Francais Gelding, Silva Depew, ridden by Lucan Jacqui, and this has had good form in the Nations Cup in Belgium at the end of March, where they were actually on the winning team. So a good consistent member of the team here. This horse just rides in a different type of action, just a little bit higher head carriage compared to the one that's previous. Down to the water tray, leaves the front rail there well. Just having a little look around as it comes down past this water feature. Nice level 9 to the water tray. Most people are coming down there now. Interestingly, he's come inside there. Come inside to number 10 just to save a little bit of time. Down the last 2 now. And just gets inside the time as well. So that was well ridden there. Used the head. Knew they were a little bit tight on the time, so came inside to the last final line to finish on 4 penalties. So that was a really good, confident round there. These riders are only young, so to see them gain with knowledge like that and think about the round, it's nice to see. So we're moving on to Portugal now, and this is the Chestnut Mare, and this was been on the Villamora Tour, was 3rd back in February at the 3-star. So again, comes here with a nice bit of form. So many of these riders nowadays go on these winter tours in Villamora, Spain, Portugal, just to get the confidence and get the mileage under the tank for the season ahead. Still looking for our first clear round. The combination is riding slightly better now, so words got out to the collectoring that the riders just need to sit up and support in the middle, because that's not riding so open, that second part, anymore. This is looking a nice confident round. 3 to go. Looks good on the time. 2 to go now. Just a nice, good quality turn here, and just bring this home. This could be our first clear coming here. Just lost the turn. That was a shame, and it's done it there too. That was very unfortunate. Really, really good round up to the last 2. Horse just didn't stay straight. She just lost her line to the last 2, and she's paid the penalty there, which is very unfortunate. Really, really good round up till then. So she finishes on 8 faults, and we move on to the second rider for Switzerland. This is Eno W, the 14-year-old grey stallion.
On retrouve la Suisse.
And it was good. It has nice placings in Italy at the start of April, up to 125 level. Another competitor to have the first fence down. This is a real proper Nations Cup course here, because the course builder is on the button from the word go. There isn't any let up fence around the course really. It's all twists and turns. Nice stride down to the water tray there. It jumped that really well. A few horses have come round the corner there and just spooked at the garden or the animals that they've got set there as a bit of a feature in that corner. A few have looked at that now. Still on 4 at the minute. The way the class is going, 4 faults is still a good score. If she can just bring it home on the 4. Finishes on the 4, well inside the time.
One jumping fault on the course. Unfortunately, on the
She'd be a little bit disappointed with that, I would say, because that came right at the beginning of the first fence, and then she kept herself, kept her composure, and she's jumped a lovely round from there to finish on 4. So we now move on back to Monaco, and this is the 11-year-old grey mare, Zangerside breed by the Untouchable Stallion. A lot of horses are on the circuit by this horse. Was first in the 120 at the start of April, and 9th back in Italy as well, so good consistent forms. And this is actually the first competitor out for Monaco. A little bit of miscommunication down to the water tray. Jumped the combination, fantastic. And again, just ran into that ox. There's a very, very good, clever course building there. He's got the candy looking like poles with the blue and white colours going the other way, which is hard to see. Then he's got the water tray, bang smack in the middle of the oxer, so it just catches the horse's eye right at the last minute after jumping out the combination. This could be our first play here. Kept the confidence up. And she's there, and inside the time. There we go, there's our first clear round.
Le premier sans faute de cette Coupe des Nations Children.
She really kept the tempo up there, she kept the confidence into the horse, and congratulations there to Monaco. That's our first clear round of the competition. We've had 12 riders, and that's our first one to get round with no faults and inside the time. So let's just see if we can keep the tempo up now and get a few more. So we're moving on now with Sweden. This is Jata, the chestnut 9-year-old mare, ridden by Alice Nordberg. Had a real good finish to the end of the season last year, in real good form with consistent placings at the 120 and the 125 level. So we'll be looking to kick-start the year how she left off last year. Again, another one that's had a good look at number 3, that double. That really comes early in the course. Just needs to rebuild her confidence now down this line. The one thing I'd say the course builder has been a little bit kind on is he has put the combination in the middle where the riders can get a little bit more confidence around the corner, get the composure of the horse back together before he asks for the next big effort down the distance. Where if you notice, fence 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 come very quick. She's keeping it together now. 2 to go. Let's see if we can get this tricky plank out the way. And again, one that gets caught by that.
One fault on the fence, number 11 on the plank, plank down. So
It's a very, very clever course build on that. Where I'm sat,
75
all the people that are having that fence down, when they come round the corner, if they're not straight and they're on the angle, where they've just drifted through the bend, they're all having the fence. They must ride that corner and get themselves dead straight before they take off, otherwise they're being caught out by that plank. So we're now moving to Belgium, and this is the Zangerside Chestnut mare. Been fourth in the 125s in April, and good form in Leer as well. So again, real consistent jumping here, and this is Jig van der Hon on board. Still only got the one clear round at present. Started at a lovely rhythm here. Just going to have to be a little bit aware of the time allowed. Just pick the tempo up around that corner just to try and keep moving. Really nice down that distance. You could just see this partnership has been together a long time. They know each other inside out. She's just staying on a really nice level canter from the word go. Just needs to be aware. That's clever there. She's come inside the oxer. She's obviously aware of the time fractionally. She's got 10 seconds to go home. She's going to be tight here. 81 seconds the time allowed. She's over the plank. Is she going to get inside the time?
What a nice run for Jiske van den
And
Heijden.
she has picked one time fault up. One time fault.
For the time of the Belgium lady rider.
Which is such a shame.
Un beau parcours, on a assuré.
She rode a lovely rhythm there, and she came inside the oxer to try and make the time, but just probably lost some time on that turn back to the combination where the horse just had a little spook and a miscommunication, which is a great shame there, because that was a real good jumping round. So moving from Belgium, we're now moving on to our German rider, which is Johan McCann on the Tuman, which is the Grey Holstein Gelding. 6th in the 125 back in March. A couple of consistent places in Fontainebleau last year. So again, another one who's been on one of the tours. Keeping a good rhythm up round the corner here. This is a real nice, good quality rhythm that she's had from the start. Time allowed should be fine. Just allowing the horse to roll on and jump out of its stride, which is nice to see. 2 to go. Time's good, 1 to go. And there's your second clear for Germany. Lovely round. Comes here with form, keeps the form up, and that's a really good, lovely jumping round there. Nicely inside the time. So going from Germany, we're now crossing over to our second rider for Spain. This is the 13-year-old Chestnut Stallion, well, the Consisto C.
Spain on the gold, second ride for Spain, Eric and Hernani Ichalba,
and we got Eric and Alaba in the saddle.
Number 16 on the start.
Started off with a good confident rhythm around those first 3. The horse is really jumping for him. That was well ridden there. It was close to the Oxer, landed in a dead heap on the backside of the Oxer, but managed to get his leg on to power the horse out. He's having to work through this combination. He's going to have to get his leg onto this water tray now, which he has done. The horse is really jumping for him. Again, he's kept a good tempo up down to the water jump. He's going round to the Oxer. Little bit of a wobble. Oh, he just come round the corner there. The horse didn't know where he was going. He couldn't quite figure out where the fence was. Miscommunication. That was a shame because the horse was jumping and he was riding for his life there to get this horse round. And he's just going to pay the consequences of having that stopped. He's picked up time as well. And he's had one at the end as well. That was a shame.
Unfortunately, a second refusal for
because the course started off so well.
For Spain, unfortunately, the eliminations of the second couple.
Just jumps it at the end to finish off on a good note. So we now move to Great Britain. So this is the first competitor for Great Britain, and this is Sienna Lani on the 13-year-old Chestnut gelding by the Kevin Z. So this is English breeding.
Second ride for Great Britain, Sienna Lani and Bermudez PDA on the start.
And this has had good consistent placings back in the UK. 115, 125s. Kept a nice rhythm up to that double to start with. Again, just a little bit miscommunication round to the Oxer. Just paid the penalty there, fractionally close, pushing that front rail out the way. Just needs to try and rebuild now for this line. Good down that tricky line through the middle. What we need to remember is, I think when we're watching this from home, is these riders are still only so young, so much pressure on their shoulders. One, jump in this type of height in this environment, but also being in a team situation. So she's actually finished on 4. So again, probably a little bit of nerves at the beginning, but she's kept it together. She's grew in confidence, and she's brought this horse home on 4 faults. So I should think she'd be pleased with that. Oh, we're now going to our third rider for France, and this is Milima Bly and the Canopy d'Abion. This is the South Francais Chestnut 12-year-old stallion by the great Balabé de Rouet.
France on the start, on the course right now, with Melina Boyo and Cannabis d'Albin. Number 18.
This is number 18 of our competitors. And we have got 35 coming forwards. Still only got the 2 clear rounds and the 1-on-1 time fault. So it is taking all the jumping. But it also is the Nations Cup, so it is going to take all the jumping. She rode that well. She knew he was going to have a look at that water tray, so she really got her leg on down to that. She just now needs to compose it round the corner to this vertical, which she has done. So the last 3 times should be okay here, as long as she keeps the tempo up round this next turn. Set up nice and tall to the plank, which she has done. 1 to go, time looks good. Aye, and she's just pushed that front rail there. That's a couple of competitors that have done that.
4 points sur ce dernier Auxerre.
The Oxer right at the end of the course is very square, and I think that, you know, once you've got over that plank, you're still not clear. You've got to really compose yourself down that line. It's on a curving distance, and it's just dead square. And a lot of riders have just got to the front of that and just pushed that out the way, which is, you're not home until you're down this last line in this competition. So we're now moving on to the third rider for Portugal, and this is the C Invator Z, 13-year-old gelding, ridden by Maria Insugis. Again, another one to be caught by that first fence. Through the double nicely. You've really got to start this course off with a real good quality confident canter at the start, because the first three fences come really quick and they are testing as well. So if you come in there a little bit timid, you're paying the penalty from the word go. So many of these riders have gained confidence as the round's gone on, but obviously the fence has already happened early on in the course. The combination is riding a lot better now. And he's been very kind with the water jump. He hasn't pulled that out to the maximum width. He's just kept that to introduce these riders to a water jump. So currently on 8 faults for Portugal. Just coming round to the last line. And finishes off well. So 8 just inside the time as well, so that was, otherwise that could have been costly. So she finished on 8 just inside the time. And we're now going from Portugal to Switzerland. This is the Mike Smiths on the Lantora Van Hoff, which is the 8-year-old bay gelding. Second in Italy back at the start of April. First in Corenburg back in February. So again, nice bit of FEI form, and another competitor to be a victim to the first fence. And there's a real good example. The canter was just not upbeat enough, not in front of the leg enough, and just hasn't finished its jump off behind and has paid the penalty there. And it's again here. So the first 3 fences, he just needs to pick his canter up a fraction. Just gain a bit of confidence. If he can get down this line, then he'll have a nice turn around the top before the combination, just to get himself together, compose himself before the next big question. Looks like he's just struggling to hold this a little bit today in this arena. Just coming round now to the last final line, so let's get a nice confident line to finish the round off. Good over the planks. And nicely over the last to finish on 16 there for Sweden.
The third rider from Switzerland.
Yeah.
A time of 77.17.
So we I've had 20 competitors go out of the 35, and we've currently got 2 clears and 1 on a time, so it is taking some jumping. And we are now moving on from there to should be the next rider from Monaco. And this is Calais, and this is the South Francais Bay 12-year-old mare, Valentine Platini.
De cette Coupe des Nations Children, avec le parcours de Leia Banks-Clark.
Starting off well here. Just a little bit of miscommunication through the middle again. That fence is just in the middle of nowhere, so the horse really needs to know where it's going as it comes through that turn. She's rode it well there. Sit up tall now. She's got away with that. She's going to have to just get together here down to this water tray. So now she's got the corner just to compose herself before the next line. It's a shame that stopped because this horse has come here in quite good consistent form. It's a good placings at 120 and 125 in Italy. Early start of April. It looks like she's finishing off the round in good confident manner. Just down to the last now. A few time faults to have. And she's going to finish on 18.
Malheureusement, une petite désobéissance et du coup un peu de temps dépassé. Plus la palanque au sol. 8 points sur la piste, 10 de temps dépassé, un total de 18 en 90 secondes.
So we're now going to the next rider from Sweden. And this is the Julia de Fagard, Noblesse Jamais 502. And this is the Bay Stallion by Nintendo. It's lucky there at the first. Another rider to just touch that. Got away with it though. Some haven't. She has. Let's hope she can build on this now. Keep the rhythm. Sweden are currently bringing it. They've got an 8 faults and a 4 faults. So a good round here. Could put them in a good strong position. And there's another example there. That horse has just caught the water tray in its eye at the last minute. She's going to have to really get the leg on here to get this horse to come and face this now. She's come inside quite tight. And he knows that's there. Then once the horse has seen that and they know the water tray's there, that's when you are going to be in trouble because he's caught it in his eye and he knows he's going to come back to it. So that's unfortunately that's an elimination there. It looked like it was going to be a good round at the start. Right, so we're now moving to our third competitor, 405. This is Chloe Hosty. And she is riding the Chestnut Hanoverian gelding. Porgisagrosso. And this has good form in Lear, 125s and 120s. So they've currently got 4 faults and a time fault. So again, a clear round from this team would be a good, put their team in a good position. Jump through the combination well. And lovely over the water tray. Little spook coming down by the pond. Just come inside again. A few of the riders that have just gone with a little bit, a canter that's just slightly slower than the others, have decided to come inside to that oxen near the end. But it looks like she should, if she keeps the tempo up, she's just got to keep coming here. Now she's going to get caught and press for the line, and she's there inside the time and clear. That's a very good round for Belgium there. Very good round. That's currently put them on. They are on a 4 and 1 time fault and it clears. So they're in a real good position there. As we now go to the third rider for Germany. And this is the Colin Wentz. This is Gicia Appala.
départ. Alors, deux parcours assez différents, une élimination et un sans faute pour les
This
deux
is
premiers
second in
parcours.
Germany
Colin Vance
the
et
other day
Jesse
at
Altuve
125 level,
en
7th in
place.
125. Haven't seen this FEI since last year, but at the end of last year we had a good record, 120s, 125 level. Starts off well. Nicely down the line from the combination to the water tray. The time looks good. So just got to keep it together now for these last three. And finishes off lovely. Very, very well ridden there. Very well ridden inside the time and gives them a 0 score.
Second clear round from the German team.
So they've got 2 clear rounds so far. So they are in a real good position at present. So well done to them. It was a lovely, lovely round there. So let's see if we can keep the momentum up now with the next rider from Spain. This is our third rider. It's My Life, the 2013 Grey Gelding, 423, ridden by Lucas Morticeria. He's come inside the wings to fence 3. Just pops in but squeezes out nicely. He's going to have to be a little bit aware of time allowed here. Just doesn't want to be hanging around back to this combination. Just slightly off coming in. Has paid the penalty with the back rail there. He was a long way off going into that combination. Down to the water tray. Water jumps that well. Time allowed is 81 seconds. I think he should be okay here if he just keeps moving around this turn. He's got 10 seconds to get home. He's going to be tight. He's just got to stay level to the last. And he's there. Yep, he's got inside the time. Just finishes on the 8. No time faults, but just finishes on the 8.
Le troisième cavalier espagnol qui termine son parcours avec 8 points au compteur et un temps de 79.
So we're going from there to the next rider for Great Britain. And this is the Grey Mare Woodview's Willow by Jasmine Chaban.
Pour la Grande-Bretagne est au départ, troisième cavalière donc de cette équipe de Grande-Bretagne avec Woodview's Willow. Numéro 26, pardon, number 26 on the starts.
This is by their KC Maxim Joe. Just taking her time, having a good count around before she starts. Hopefully the weather's going to improve as the day goes on. It's very overcast and drizzly here at the minute. If the sun comes out, we could be set for a real good atmosphere later on in the day. It's just needs to pick up a bit more positive counter here to fence 3. Like I said, that double comes really early in the course. So you need a good positive canter. Just needs to rebuild now, keep the momentum up down this line. So she's got the combination next. Let's just have a good canter around this corner. Come on, need a bit more momentum into here. That's better. Lovely shot in. Just then needs to squeeze in the middle. And you can just see the confidence in this pair just starting to go.
Second refusal for Jasmine Chaban and Woodoos Willow.
That was a shame. But you really, when you're at this testing level, you've got to keep rebuilding that confidence as much as you possibly can. So we're now moving into our final round of riders for this first round. This is the Zo Vangen lead, ridden by the Zoe Vangeledi. And this has been in great form back in Belgium, was on the winning team in Belgium on the last week of March.
Justement, eh bien la France au départ avec Zoé Vajon le dit et Arcana Messi-Pierre, le numéro 27 est au départ, quatrième et dernier couple pour l'équipe de France.
So he came around that corner with a good bit of authority, really riding for it. Jumps well into the combination and supports it on the 2, which was good. I thought this might have found the 2 stride fractionally short. A little bit of miscommunication down there. She was going to go for 1 less, but she's got away with it. And the same at the water jump. She just needs to compose herself now. She just wants this horse just to back up a little bit before she gets to this plank. Just take your time, 2 to go, loads of time. She's got herself nice and straight there, fair play to her, she rode that fantastic. Brilliant round, really well ridden there. Lovely clear round there, and well deserved. She was on the pace from the word go. She had a cracking line to the last. Congratulations to her, that was a brilliant round. So we're going from there to Portugal, and this is Martim Ribeiro, and this is La Falablina T, the grey KWPN mare by Silverstone. And again, this has had some real good results in 2-star and 1-star in Portugal, FEI back in July. So it's been jumped under the FEI rules before.
On this first step, Martin Ribeiro and Feliberlina T, number 28.
The course builders built a real good testing course this morning with variations of turnbacks, rollbacks and straight lines, but also not just that, he's put a variation of what I call arena decoration to give the riders variation of whether they come off the left rein or the right rein, or whether they go round on a line or inside on a line to get inside the time. The water jump, he's kept it not too wide to give them confidence there. And again, like here's a good example. As you come round the corner, he's positioned this vertical right next to the arena decoration in the corner and next to the pond. So it's not one, he's being tricky with where the distances he's put these jumps on, but also he's being tricky about where he's placing the jumps for the horses to lose their concentration. So we're really looking to test the horse and the rider with their confidence and their rideability. We're clear here so far for Portugal with 1 to go. The time looks good. And again, another victim for the last.
Yes, unfortunately,
That's really square, that last oxer, and when you get over the plank, a few of the riders are just losing their composure, not supporting down to that last line, and just playing victim to the front rail. That was a shame, because that was a real nice rhythm all the way around there, so she should be pleased with that. So we're now going to Switzerland, and this is the 4th member for Switzerland. And this is Nikit Gavin, and this is the Zangasai Black Gelding by Ironman, Icon van der Pudel Z, and they was 4th in the Nations Cup back in Italy. And Sweden could really do with a good round here, just to bring them up the board a little bit. They've got a couple of scores. One of those scores they look to be trying to drop, so we could just do with a good round. Again, another victim to that first fence. But surely first fence has got to be down to a little bit of rider nerves in this situation, because all of them have gained as the round's gone on. They've all gained confidence and settled and allowed their horse to jump. Like here's another example, beautiful round, just the first fence. But that's still a good score for Switzerland there. They would take that, so they'll be able to drop one of those higher scores that was earlier on in the course. So we're now going to Monaco, and this is the Polina Kostinko, Noblesse van der Kuven, the chestnut mare by Royal de Cachabos, and this had really good form in the Grand Prix back in Italy. We've already had one clear from the Monaco team, so let's see if we can try and make it 2. That was well done there. She's just landed and just moved the canter forwards because of the time allowed. Open stride into the combination, but sits tall coming out. Now she just needs to move around the corner. That's good. She's doing this. Keeping the tempo up. Oh, just as a look into that. That was a shame. It's the first one we found that's found the water tray, the water jumper problem there. But has come back and jumped it the second time. But that's going to be costly, because we're going to incur time penalties as well now. Down to the last on 12. We've got time penalties coming. That was a great show. So she's finished on 14.
86.93 for Polina Kostinko.
That was a great shame there, because that looked like that was going to turn into a nice round. So we are moving to Sweden now, and this is the Valentina Jal on Tiger Rose, the Bay mare by Heartbeat. Really nice form, 4th in the 130 in March back in Spain. Been jumping 135s and 130s consistently. So a real good anchor man here for Sweden. So we'll be looking to get a nice round here, because currently we've got an 8 faults and a 4 faults for Sweden, and then that unfortunate elimination. So we need a nice round here to keep Sweden in touch. Again, another one to be caught out by fence 3. If you get to fence 3 without enough canter, you just are struggling really to get out and get over that oxer at the back, which is, again, you've got to have a real good canter from the word go. Another one that the course builder, another victim to the course builder there. So she just needs to compose herself now whilst they build this fence. Just pick herself up and just come to this fence 3 with a little bit more positivity in the canter. And then hopefully finish the round off nice and confidently ready for the next round. We'll have a short break after the last competitor in 6 or 7 competitors time, just for a bit of arena maintenance before we go on to the second round. We've got Nations Cup all day today, so we've got this is the children horses we've got at the minute, and then we've got the juniors, which is due to start midday French time, so 11 o'clock English time, and then we've got the young riders later on, which is due to start 4 o'clock French time, so that's 3 o'clock English time. Real good chance to see all these up and coming young athletes, see how they progress through the day. And this FEI Nations Cup Youth Series is a series that runs through the year with 11 qualifiers throughout the year, with the final being held in Belgium later in the year. It looks like we're reset and good to go. And that was a much better canter there. She's jumped in and powered out. So let's just rebuild on that now. If she keeps the tempo up, she might just get inside the time, but she's going to have to keep the tempo up. I don't think she's going to make it going that wide. The time penalties are going to be costly for this team, I feel. Surface is riding well. It's always a worry when you're having a lot of turn backs and roll backs in the course that the surface is going to hold up as the horses turn through the bends. At the minute it's holding up tremendously well. Hopefully that stays throughout the day. These surfaces are very, very wet at the beginning and sometimes they dry out, but hopefully we keep the consistency through the day. So we're finishing there on the
arrival for
few time penalties there.
And Tiger Rose in a type of 90.24 for jumping faults plus 10 points of added time.
So we've got 4 plus some time.
14 points donc pour la cavalière suédoise.
So we're now moving on to the final rider for Belgium, and this is
Dernier couple pour la Belgique au départ. Pour le moment, eh bien.
This is Estelle Van Triche, and this is Seacoast Don't Touch Her. The 2019 stallion, Holsteiner bred by Demont de Semely, and a Chin Chin Chuch Hero by Chin Chin. So it's a real good quality bred horse here. Nearly gone the wrong way, managed to recover, hasn't crossed the track, so got away with that. And currently this team are in a very, very good position. They've got one rider on 4 faults. They've got one rider with 1 time fault. The other rider with clear. So if we can get this rider around as well, they will drop the time fault and they will finish on a course of first round score of 0, which will put them in leading position, I would say. So no pressure. Lovely confident jump over the water tray. Just keep the tempo. Just think about the time. 81 seconds the time. We've had a few that have picked up time faults as they've gone round. She's come inside though. She's aware of that. She's still going to need the tempo. Keep it up round this turn. She doesn't want to take the pressure off. She's going to be tight here. She's got 7 seconds to get home. She's going to be clear. She needs to ride for the line if she gets this. Press for the line. Whew, look at that. 80.96 and the time allowed is 81 seconds. You don't get no closer than that. So they have finished on a score of 1.
Deuxième parcours sans faute pour la Belgique qui
currently puts them in second at the present time.
Et donc qui se place juste derrière l'Allemagne en tête avec ce.
Okay, so we're moving on from there to the final rider from Germany, and this is Cartagena, the Holstein 2014 mare by Casadello. Maximilian Fimpel is in the saddle and was first Nations Cup in Italy and was second in the 125 back in Belgium. Starts off well, good confident round at the beginning. This is a good round, 3 to go, time looks good. Another one to pay penalty to the plank and have the last. That's a costly one right at the end of the course. So that puts her on 8 faults. That plank hasn't found any victims for a little while, but it's caught her there at the end. So that puts them on 8.
For the time of the last rider from Germany.
So we're now going on to the Spanish rider, and this is Uquiaraz Rodriguez. This is the Calorín de Lomos, the Bay Gelding by Clarence C.
Avec son seul point. Donc un point pour la Belgique en première place et une égalité à la deuxième place, la France, l'Allemagne, avec 8 points. Départ est donné à l'Espagne avec Uquiaraz Rodriguez et Clarin de Liamosa, le numéro 34, dernier couple espagnol dans cette Coupe des Nations junior. Children, pardon.
Looking good down through the combination well. Down to the water jump. This is a nice round. Need to get this rider home. We've got 1 elimination. We've had a clear on an 8. So it'd be nice to get a score on the board with a 0. Keep them in the limelight. And she's there and inside the time. Brilliant round. Congratulations to her there. That was a lovely, lovely round there.
Nicely round for the last rider from
so they're actually still right in it.
Rodriguez and Clarin de Liamosas in a time of 73.28. L'Espagne qui termine donc cette première étape, cette première manche avec 12 points au cumul des 4 premiers cavaliers, enfin des 4 cavaliers de l'équipe à être passés dans cette première manche. Dernière équipe.
So the final rider now for Great Britain is the Rosie Campbell on Appy de Chalat. 4th in the 130, Kronberg, back last year, jumped on the Olivia Nova Tour, ooh, and just rolled that behind. So starts on the 4, gotta just rebuild, keep it confident. down that back line. So we're on the 8 at the moment. Down the combination, sits up tall. Now going to rebuild round the corner here. Just had a little look at that filler, but she's got her leg on. She just needs to bring it round. Time allowed, should be okay. Just rolled the plank as well. So we're going to be finishing on 12. So that finishes, so that leaves them in 6th position at present. So they've dropped the elimination. So we now have a few individuals to go now, and then we will have the second leg of the Nations Cup, which is due to start at 5 to 10, so that's 5 to 9 English time. A little bit of arena maintenance, a few individuals, and then the second leg of the Nations Cup. And we currently have 8 competitors on a clear round, so well done to them. A real tough course there, clever course building, really asking the questions all the way around. Hopefully we'll see these riders come back and just have a better round the second round, because they've been in and already felt their way around, and hopefully nerves would have settled a bit. So we will be back ready for the second round of the Nations Cup just before 5 to 8:55 English time, 9:55 French time, to join in for the second round. And good luck to everybody, and we will just come off air whilst these individuals jump.
7. Et c'est l'Espagne qui prend le départ avec Mayelen Ortiz Salcedo et Let's Fly Carlota, le numéro 13.
Like I love you, I love you. But you can say, baby, baby, can I hold you tonight? Baby, if I told.
One jumping fourth on the course for the Spanish lady rider Mayelen Ortiz Salcedo in a time of 77.04. Retour en France avec le numéro 14, Louise Anquetin et Uccello de Us. Friends on the start, Louise Anquetin and Uccello de Us, number 14. Ouais, un joli parcours sans faute sur ce parcours. Malheureusement, regardez le temps, 81 secondes 65. Un petit point de temps dépassé, ce qui va faire passer la cavalière française Louise Anquetin et aussi le de Hus à la 3e place tout de même du classement provisoire de cette épreuve, juste après les 2 parcours sans faute de Léna Griffon et d'Ella Bommeré. Donc 3e place pour Louise Anquetin et Uccello de Hus. La Grande-Bretagne au départ, Archie Brendan Kendall et King Guards Lightning, le numéro 15. Unfortunately, second refusal for Archie Brendan Kendall and King Guards Lightning, meaning the elimination of the couple number 15. Retour en France au départ avec Marie Borel, Filou des Monts, le numéro 16.
Yes, I understand that every life must end. As we sit alone, I know someday we must go on. Oh, I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love. Some folks just have one, yeah, others they got none. Stay with me, oh, let's just breathe. Practice on my sins, never gonna let me win. Under everything, just another human being. Yeah, I don't wanna hurt. There's so much in this world to make me bleed. Stay with me, you're all I see. Did I say that I need you? Did I say that I want?
Retour du son et du gueule sans faute pour Marie Borel, 79 secondes 14. Troisième place pour la cavalière française et troisième parcours sans faute. Elsa González Chumillas, c'est au départ les couleurs de l'Allemagne avec Inch'Allah DB, le numéro 6. C'est bien les couleurs de l'Espagne pour Elsa González Chumillas et Inch'Allah DB, le numéro 17 au départ. Spain on the start, Elsa González Chumillas, Inch'Allah DB.
Nothing you would take, everything you give. Hold me till I die, meet you on the other side.
Jump penalties for Elsa González Chumillas and Inch'Allah DB in a time of 71.08. Ireland next to go with Harry Rush and Taby number 18.
Was extra special. I know you might be gone, and the world may not know. Still, I see you celestial, and I should, but I can't let you go. But when I'm cold, yeah, when I'm cold, there's a lot that you gave me when I'm in shadow. There's a feeling Lovers in blood, or sisters who ride. Yeah, we swore on that night we'd be friends till we died. But the changing of winds and the way waters flow, life is short as the falling of snow. And I'm gonna miss you.
And the plank is done, so 4 jumping faults. At the arrival for a rush and a time of 76.39 with Tabi number 18. Great Britain on the start right now with Ruby Payne and White Spark Pepper number 19. Ruby Payne est au départ, White Spark Pepper pour les couleurs de la Grande-Bretagne, le 19 dans cette épreuve. Je vous rappelle qu'on aura la deuxième manche de la Coupe des Nations Children aux alentours de 9h55. Cette deuxième manche à 9h55 donc. La deuxième manche des Nations, je rappelle la Belgique, pour le moment en tête dans cette Coupe des Nations Children avec 1 point. L'Allemagne et la France deuxième avec 8 points. Et donc pour le moment, eh bien, dans cette épreuve entre les deux manches de la Coupe des Nations, c'est la France qui est en tête avec Léna Griffon et Émeraude Riverache. 68 secondes 07 à battre pour lui prendre la tête de l'épreuve. Et la Bomberé est deuxième pour la Belgique, 78 secondes 72. Et Marie Borel troisième. Et troisième sans faute, 79 secondes 14.
So if you love someone, you should let them know. Oh, the light that you give me will ever glow.
Nice clear round for Ruby Payne and White Spark Pepper in a time of 80.20. The fourth clear round of the class. The last fast 80.20, but it's a beautiful fourth place for Ruby Payne and White Spark Pepper. Quatrième place donc pour la cavalière britannique White Spark Pepper qui réalise le 4e sans faute, le moins rapide pour le moment, donc mais c'est tout de même un joli classement, 4e place pour le moment au provisoire. Basile Tison est au départ, les couleurs de la France avec Chelgara MFZ, le 20 au départ.
I see everything true. There's still a fire in my heart, my darling, but I'm not burning for you. We started it wrong, and I think you know. We waited too long, now I have to go.
Et ça passe. Allez, Allez, regardez le temps, mesdames et messieurs, 64 secondes 85 pour Basile Tison et Chelgara MFZ qui s'installent en tête de cette épreuve. Bravo au couple français numéro 20. Voici le nouveau temps de référence, 64 secondes 85. Italy on the start right now with Magdalena Righetto and Monjeu Dachau number 21.
Beauty after all, and who says love should break us when we fall? But if we're strong enough to let it, we're strong enough to let it go.
One pull down on the course, 4 jump penalty, au total 71.42 for Magdalena Righetto and Monjeu Dachau number 21. We stay with 5 clear round for the moment. Amy Blixted on the start with Cardino for Sweden. Donc 5 parcours sans faute pour le moment, le plus rapide, 64 secondes 85. Basile Tison pour la France.
Road tripping with my 2 favorite allies. Fully loaded, we got snacks and supplies. It's time to leave this town, it's time to steal away. Let's go get lost anywhere in the USA. Let's go get lost, let's go get lost. Blue, you sit so pretty west of the one. Sparkle like with yellow icing, just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. So much has come before, those battles lost and won. This life is shining more forever in the sun. Now let us check our heads and let us check the surf. Staying high and tries more trouble than it's worth in the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun.
One pull down and 1 point of added time, total score of 5 in a time of 81.16 for Amy Blixten-Cardino. Portugal on the start right now with the number 23, Barbara L. and Cardenta. Oui, cavalière suédoise qui totalise 5 points sur son parcours, 4 sur la piste et 1 de temps dépassé en 81 secondes 16. Alors qu'on donne le départ au Portugal, les numéros 23, Barbara L. et Cardenta. Unfortunately, the fall of Barbara L. and Cardenta, meaning the elimination of the couple number 23. Belgium now on the start with Thibaut Ebinger and Gabrielo KMHZ, number 24. So time to beat, it's 64.85, owned by Basile Tison, leading this class so far. La Belgique donc au départ, Thibaut Ebinger et Gabrielo KMHZ, le numéro 24 au départ.
It's not about the things you do, it's more about the things you say. And I don't know why, but it hurts.
It's not about the things you do, it's more about the things you say. And I don't know why, but it hurts my feelings again. It's not what we wanted to. We've grown, but I'm afraid we've changed. If it's over now, would you let me go? Bye bye. Bye bye. It hurts, but it's for the best. The best. Bye bye. Bye bye. I lost, but I won't lose again.
It's not about the things you do, it's more about the things you say. And I don't know why, but it hurts my feelings again. I told you it'd be over soon, now it's gone and I can see it shade. If I'm all alone, will I find myself?
4 jumping points, jumping faults for Thibaut Ebinger and Gabrielo KMHZ in time of 80-27. Retour en France avec le départ du numéro 25, Luna Bensad et Hatcha Descoteaux. La France qui mène toujours cette épreuve. Basile Tison avec son temps de 64 secondes 85 donc.
It's not about the things you do, it's more about the things you say. And I don't know why, but it hurts my feelings again. Bye bye. Bye bye. It hurts, but it's for the best. The best. Bye bye. Bye bye. I lost, but I won't lose again.
Ouais, et malheureusement, le dernier essai qui coûte 4 points à Luna Bensad à l'arrivée, 62 secondes 47. Regardez le chronomètre, il était bon, hein. Dommage, on a tenté pour Luna Bensad, malheureusement 4 points. 7e place tout de même au classement provisoire pour la cavalière française. Le Danemark est au départ, le numéro 26, Selma Unborg Dressler et Rihanna. Denmark on the starts, number 26, Selma Unborg Dressler and Rihanna.
Seems they've always clouded over you. Time has fled and dug some deeper wounds. Now you're wasting your life on a screen. Are you sure that you've tried everything? 'Cause you're always waiting in the water. Don't wanna let go of your collar. Well, you're the words of your father. You'll never make it on your own. Skips when it thinks that you're falling. Your heart on its knees and it's crawling.
A total score of 20 points for Léonie Alessandra Pelonienne et Luna Godwin Charbonnier, 92-39 for the time. Darcy Uneben Days Breen on the start, number 28 with Kunis for Great Britain.
Break you, but you unavoid. No, they won't break you. You can make you. Did you check the beliefs underneath? When you failed to show some bitter deep. Tell me how many more casualties before you face the one true enemy. 'Cause you're always waiting in the water. Don't wanna let go of your collar. Believe the words of your father. You'll never make it on your own. Skips when it thinks that you're falling. Your heart on its knees and it's crawling. Screaming your name, barely breathing. You'll never make it on your own. You're on your own. You're all alone. That could make you, that could break you, but you unavoid. No, they won't break you. You can make you. 'Cause you singing to me when you hit the ground. Even when it's the no squeezing out the sound. You smile to me. 'Cause you sing to me when you hit the ground. Even when it's the no squeezing out the sound. And you smile to me. Thought they could make you, like they could break you.
Well, 34 jumping penalties for Darcy Uneben Days Breen in a time of 1:10 and 57 seconds for this last round of this class, and we can check the results and announce the final classifications. Pour le moment, Basile Tison est en tête et a remporté l'épreuve. Attendez, sous réserve de validation. On vous donne le classement final de cette épreuve in between dans quelques secondes maintenant. Et je vous le rappelle, 9h55, un peu plus de 10 minutes avant la reprise de la Coupe des Nations Children, avec la deuxième étape de cette Coupe des Nations Children. Je vous le rappelle, avec le même parcours que la première manche pour les cavaliers des 8 équipes qui s'affronteront dans la deuxième manche. Dans cet ordre-là, la Suède, la Suisse, la Grande-Bretagne, le Portugal, l'Espagne, la France, l'Allemagne et la Belgique. On a hâte de voir eh bien, le dénouement de cette première Coupe des Nations de ce week-end ici à Compiègne. On se retrouve dans quelques minutes pour l'annonce du classement final de l'épreuve in between et puis évidemment pour le début de cette deuxième manche. À tout de suite. Allez donc le classement final de cette épreuve in between remporte donc cette épreuve Basile Tison et la France avec Chelgara MFZ. Félicitations au cavalier français le plus rapide, 64 secondes 85. Deuxième place pour Léna Griffon et Emerald River H, cavalier français, 68 secondes 07. La Belgique est à la troisième place. Belgium on the third place with Ella Bomré and iWatch van Tameldong Z, 78 secondes 72. On retrouve la France à la quatrième place avec Marie Boel et Philou Desmonts, 79 secondes 14. Cinquième place pour la Grande-Bretagne, Ruby Payne et White Spark Pepper, 80 secondes 20. C'est les sans faute en tout cas. Sixième place pour Louise Anquetin et Uccello de Hus avec 1 point et 81 secondes 65. Septième place toujours pour la France pour Luna Bensad et Hacha Dekoto avec 4 points et 62 secondes 47. Et enfin huitième place pour Julie Mariani et Eleva d'Espoir, 68 secondes 42 et 4 points à l'arrivée au final pour la cavalière française. Voici pour les 8 premiers couples, les 8 meilleurs couples de cette épreuve in between, qu'on appelle in between parce qu'elle se déroule entre les deux manches de la Coupe des Nations Children. Je vous le disais, on va reprendre le cours de cette Coupe des Nations avec la deuxième manche dans 5 minutes maintenant, très précisément. Premier en piste attendu à 9h55. Prenez un petit café, des petites viennoiseries au Classic Bar, un petit verre, pourquoi pas, et venez nous rejoindre autour de la piste de Carpenterie pour voir le dénouement de cette première Coupe des Nations de la journée ici à Compiègne. On est ravis de vous accueillir aussi nombreux et nombreuses autour de la piste. On se retrouve donc dans 5 minutes pour le premier couple en piste. Cette Nations Cup Children est sponsorisée par Kineton Sellerie. Kineton est fier d'être partenaire de cette épreuve CSIO Children. La sellerie Kineton est une sellerie parisienne depuis plus de 30 ans. Elle offre un large choix de produits pour le cavalier comme pour le cheval. Vous les retrouverez sur leur stand exposant ainsi que sur leur site internet kineton.fr. Merci à la région de France de nous accueillir également ici à Compiègne, région sportive, partenaire de l'équitation. Merci également à HKM, expert équestre reconnu et innovant, qui est heureux d'être le partenaire et fournisseur officiel des chemises de remise des prix pour ce bel événement organisé par Grand Prix. Retrouvez les produits HKM sur les différents stands ou sur leur site internet www.hkm-sport au pluriel.com. Allez mesdames et messieurs, installez-vous confortablement dans les tribunes de la piste de Carpenterie. On va accueillir dans quelques minutes donc les 8 nations pour cette deuxième manche de la Coupe des Nations Children. Allez, installez-vous, à tout de suite pour le début de cette deuxième manche. Mesdames et messieurs, j'espère que vous êtes prêts, j'espère que vous êtes bien installés. On va avoir le dénouement, la deuxième manche de cette Coupe des Nations Children. Mesdames et messieurs, installez-vous bien, on va accueillir les 8 nations dans cette deuxième manche. Et sous quelques applaudissements du public de Compiègne, on accueille le premier couple en piste.
Good morning everybody and welcome back to Compiègne, where we are just entering the second leg of the Children Horses Nations Cup. We've already had one round and we can quite safely say it is quite tight at the top, and we've got Belgium currently coming into the second round with 1 fault, closely followed by France on 8 faults and Germany on 8 faults, tied, being separated by time. So this class is kindly sponsored by Kineton, and we are riding reverse order, so again the tension will build as this class goes on. Good luck to everybody involved, and the first rider we have here at the minute is Willem Lonel riding Gerrit the Hop, bringing forwards 8 faults from the last round. Starting off nice and confidently. Remember, all these riders have already had one go round this course, so they're looking to improve on their last score. The weather's improved since early this morning. It was very overcast and drizzly, so it looks like the cloud is starting to clear. Nicely over the water tray there. And I'm sure the second round with these riders, the nerves will be less and they should ride with more confidence, and also the horses will know where they're going. So we're looking for some real confident rounds. All these riders are very young, so they're looking to gain experience to improve throughout their career. Nicely over the plank there. Time allowed 81 seconds. Oi! And just had the front rail of that. That caught a lot of competitors in the first round, and it's also caught this rider here inside the time. Improvement on the last round though, finishing on 4 faults. So we are now moving on to Switzerland, and this is Walk For Me by Elodie Hanselman. 24 faults from the first round.
La Suisse est donc au départ avec sa première cavalière dans cette deuxième manche.
Was 4th in Italy in the Nations Cup recently, and has also had many a place in Zwolle. So used to being in the big international arenas with this horse.
La Suède, vous l'avez suivi. Premier parcours en 4 points pour des Malinel et Gera Hop en 76 secondes 88.
Nicely through the double there. Now down this distance here. This young rider's riding on a much better tempo this time. A lot more relaxed. Just got to keep this tempo up. Nicely through the combination, down to the water tray now. Just had a little look into the bottom of that. He had a bit of a spook of that in the first round. He's just looked into the base and just pushed that in front. And had a little spook away from the flowers down this line. See how he jumps the open water. Nicely over this. Comes inside to get the time. Time allowed 81 seconds. So on 4 at the minute. And over the last, and just over the time allowed, just over, so she takes a 1 second penalty, so that puts her on 5. But good improvement from the last round. And now we're going to move on to Great Britain. So this is Emily Gulliver riding the Fleur du Newt 8, the For Pleasure mare, out of a Quick Lady, which is by the Great Quick Star, and they bring forward a score of 8 faults from the first round. Those two wings that look like swans, they've been quite influential in the first round. Some competitors have gone inside, some competitors have gone outside. Emily decided to go inside there. The horse has just resisted to the leg and just paid the penalty going into the double. Nicely through the combination. The first few competitors this morning found that second stride of the combination quite short, but I think the words got back to the collecting ring now, and they are just riding that a little bit quieter into the first part, so the second part isn't so short. And in the previous rounds as well, the first fence did catch quite a lot of competitors, and the last line also, the plank down to the Oxer, quite a few competitors had the front rail of that down. So we're not cleared till we get down this last line. Currently on 4 faults. Be good to keep it on that. Unfortunately had the plank, but over the last, and a time fault to add as well. So she's going to take forward 9. So it's 8 from the previous round and 9 from the last round. We're now going to move from Great Britain to the first of the Portuguese, which is the Colombe de Squirt, the chestnut mare, bringing forward a score of 11 from the first round. Had consistent placings in the 130s in Spain back in March, first in the 130 in Villamora back in February, so comes here with nice form. Currently on 4 faults there, just coming down the next distance. The team are currently in 4th place, bringing forward a score of 20. Nicely through the combination, just down the distance. The sun's starting to come through the cloud now. That's going to make a real big difference this afternoon. If that sun starts to hit the sand and the water, that will make the fences look a lot brighter, a lot sharper. Just coming back through the final turn now. Going to just have to keep a slight eye on the time. Still on the 4, coming down to the last. And up and over the last. So that finishes on 4. So 8 faults from the first round, 4 faults from the second round, so it goes through with 12. So moving on from Portugal, we're staying with the neighbouring country Spain. So this is the Sal Francais Chestnut Gelding, Scara Jack. bringing a score of 4 faults from the first round. Good start there, nicely through the double. Coming down the distance now, just sitting nice and tall and relaxed. Just found the second stride slightly short, but she's sat up tall and got away with it. She rode a lovely round in the first round, and she's keeping up that in this round. She's going round. I thought she was gonna come inside for one moment. She's gone round. Just 2 to go. This was the fence I think she pushed down in the first round, so let's get a nice line to it this time. She's over it this time, down to the last. And she's over and inside the time. So it's a lovely round for her. She'll be over the moon with that.
What a nice clear run for Aizea, Garmendia, Ajuria and Tescali Jack.
So now we're going to get down to the business end of it. So here's the first rider for France. This is Maxime Briquel riding the South-Ponce mare Francia de Gondy. Was first in the Grand Prix on the Amateur Gold Tour back in March, and was on the Nations Cup team in Italy, and they had 4 faults in the first round. And France have currently finished the last round on 8. Early fence there, and he's come inside the Swans just to try and keep the tempo up. Nicely through the double, horse finishing its jump off lovely behind there. Down the next line to the water tray, looking good. Nicely over the vertical, down to the water jump. He's kept the tempo up because having that early fence down will just put a little bit of pressure on. Would be nice to keep it, get it back home on the 4 faults. One to go. The time looks good. And up and over and inside the time. So he finishes on 4. So he brings 4 from the first round and 4 from the second. He'll be over the moon with that. That was really good riding there, because a lot of pressure to have an early fence down and keep the tempo up all the way around. So now we go from France to Belgium. The first rider here is the Clement Deluxe Cache de la Couverbe, which is the 2014 stallion. Brings forward a score of 4 faults from the first round. Nicely through the double, really squeezed out the middle part to finish the jump off. Just needs to sit tall now, which she's done. Supports it off the middle part. Just a little bit of misunderstanding down there. She was quite open to the combination, and then was coming down. Didn't quite have the brakes and the communication with the horse, and the fence just come too early. Just needs to keep the tempo up now to try and get not too many time faults here, but also not to have another fence. So she should try and come inside the oxer. No, she's going to go round. She's going to incur time penalties now. Last 2 fences to go. And up and over that, and she just incurs 2 time penalties, so that gives her a score of 6. But in all fairness to her, she was eliminated in the last round, so she's really picked herself up, and I think she'd be pleased with that to get home without the elimination. Correction on that, that's 6 penalties, and she brings forward a score of 4 from the last round, so she's got 4 from the first round and 6 from the... No, we're back with Belgium now. This one's got four faults from the first round. Lovely to start with there. Nice jump over fence 2. This horse jumped a lovely first round, was just very unlucky right at the end of the course. We've got Clement Deluxe on board. This is the 2014 Stallion by Cassandra. Sit up and support now. Nicely over the water tray, just keep moving round the turn. If we can get a clear round on the board here, this is going to put Belgium in a real strong position here. The 4 faults was the discarded score in the first round, so it just shows you how strong the team is. And just an unlucky rub at the plank, so she goes on 4 again. So it's 4 faults and 4 faults. That's still a really good score over this type of course. Remember, these riders are still very young and inexperienced at times. So we now move on to our second riders, and this is back with Sweden. So this is Jata, ridden by Alice Nornenberg, bringing us forward a score of 4 faults in the first round. Had some brilliant placings at the end of last year, 120s and 125 level. Nicely through the double, down the next line. Good stride into the double combination, just needs to support now, which is done. I think just had the back rail off that Oxer there. Didn't quite finish the jump off behind, it's just touched it and the safety cup's dropped. Yeah, it's been given, so 4 penalties. Time allowed should be okay here if we keep moving around this corner. And finishes off nicely there. So again, consistently another 4 faults, and had 4 faults in the first round. So she takes forward 8 from both rounds, 4 and 4, so 8 in total. We're now going back to Switzerland, and this is Lua Delrelli riding NOW. 4 faults in the first round. This is the 2019 Stallion by the great Mr. Blue. Four at the first. That's been a tricky fence throughout this competition. She's come inside the swans though, she's aware of that, so she's going to try and keep the pressure up to get the time, but not to incur any more penalties if we can. She did well to get the control back to jump that vertical. Just going to sit tall in the combination. He's just getting strong in this round with her. You can see she's just struggling to hold him up together. On 8 faults now, time's going to be good. Just got to keep coming around the corner now to finish here. Up and over the last. So well inside the time. Brings forward 8. So 4 from the first score, 8 from the second round. We're now going to the second rider for Great Britain, which is Sienna Lani, which is on the Bermuda's BDA. 2013 Chestnut Gelding by the English-bred Kevin Zed. And she brings forward a score of 4 faults from the first round. Had some nice results back in England, at Hart Hill in England. 115s and 125s, really consistent. This course is a good strong 125 all the way round, with the oxes nice and square, and the course builders really got it to these riders from the word go. Nicely down that line, really sat up tall and supported her horse to the water tray. Didn't let the momentum overtake him. Nicely over the water jump. Just needs to keep composed now. Just rolls the last, just because the horse was just starting to get away from her as the round went on. 4 faults in the first and the second, but she should be pleased with that. She rode that really well. Again, like I say, these riders are still only very young, and when these horses start to get strong, they just struggle a little bit with strength, and you could just see that down that line. She tried her hardest to support him off the front rail, and the energy was just running out, and she just couldn't hold him back. So unfortunate 4 faults there. We're now going to Portugal, and this is Diana Ferreira Pantano, and she brings forward a score of 8 faults. California Delivery is the chestnut mare by Lord Zed. Lord Zed stands in Ireland now. He's been getting lots of mares over the last few years. Sit tall there. We've got 8 faults from the first round. And straight away, with just these first few riders going of the teams, you can see that they're a lot more comfortable in this arena now. The rounds are coming, more and more quality. Everyone's starting to relax and really show off. There's another clear. 8 faults in the first, and then brings the clear round in the second. So moving from Portugal, we flick across to Spain now. This is Ivana V, the 2013 Chestnut Stallion by Contisco. And Eric Rana Lajaba is on board. And unfortunately, they had elimination in the first round, so we'll be really looking to gain the confidence. The round started off really well in the first. He's just having a miscommunication there. Just got to regain the confidence, regain the composure. And it's just not his day today. He starts off the competition so well. And he just needs to go home and just rebuild the confidence and come back for another day. It's such a shame when you see these young riders, they put so much time and effort into it. You want them all to do well. We're well aware that teams have to win, but it is also about getting these riders to build their confidence, build their experience in these environments, and no one likes to see eliminations. But like I say, there'll be another day for that partnership. Okay, so we're moving on now up to France. And this is Silver de Pou, ridden by Luz Luanjuki. And this is the 2006 Chestnut Gelding. And they bring forward a score of 4 faults from the first round. Currently nicely down there, real big athletic jump out over the back of the oxer. Comes inside, look, on a slight angle. Just get this plank out the way now, which they have done. Support down to the last, the time looks good, and they're clear. Brilliant round. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the rest of the teams to come. The first competitor was on 4, now they're on 0. And they bring a score of 8 forwards from the first round as a team. So to Germany now. And this is Tumon, ridden by Jean-Amant Menikik. 2015 Holsteiner, and they were clear in the first round, so they'll be looking to keep the pressure on the rest of the teams. They've come inside the Swan, so they're keeping the time in the back of their head. So having that fine line of keeping the pressure on to keep a good time, but not putting themselves under too much pressure to have a costly fence. But she's keeping a real good tempo up. This young lady rode with a real good tempo in the first round, consistent canter from start to finish. If I was training her, I'd be really impressed with how she put herself out there to ride the course and the rhythm. Keeping the tempo around this corner. Needs to keep the pressure on for the time. Should be okay, but just doesn't want to waste any more time. 10 seconds to get home. She should be fine. Give that a bit of respect. Just looked into the base of that. That's an unlucky fence. The horse just looked into the filler right on the takeoff point, just to push that in front. But still, 0 from the first round, 4 from the second. That's a really good score. So we go to Belgium now, and this partnership had 1 time fault in the first round, jumped a lovely round, 1 time fault. And this is Mira STBZ, 2016 Chestnut Mare by Mosto van der Houthoff. And we've got Jackie van der Oyden on board, and she brings forward a 0.1 time fault. Rode a lovely round in the first round. Just got to go same route but a fraction quicker. The first competitor brought a score of 4 faults. So be looking to try and get that clear round if we can, to keep the pressure on. A little bit landed there, moved on. Was aware of the time fault in the first round. And again moves on slightly there. This young lady's got a really nice hand carriage as she comes down the distance there, just balancing for the water tray and just using the half halt to balance the horse, but nice and softly through the hand. And there's your clear round inside the time. That was a real good professional round there. She had 1 time fault from the first round, and this round she's rode in the same manner, but just as she's landed, before she's come round to the combination, she's moved on, and as she's landed over the over the water jump, she's moved on to the other distance. Real good professional performance there. Well done and congratulations to her. And that's going to also put the team even more pressure on the others. So they've got 4 from the first rider, 0 from this rider. And now we head back to the third rider of the team. And this is for Sweden. This is Julia de Fagard. And we'll be looking for a nice confident round here. Unfortunately got eliminated in the first round. Nicely into the combination there. And she's managed to get him over the water jump this time. That was the one that he looked at last time and he couldn't represent to it. So she's over that. Just got to try and get him over this water jump now. Be nice to see her getting... Oh, he's seen that a long way off. She done well to get him over the water tray. He didn't want to jump that the first time in the first round. I think she's going to struggle to get him back to this water tray. Let's hope she does. It'd be nice to see her finish the course off well. Let's get him straight, hold him together. And she's done it. Well done. Nice bit of determination there. We're going to get lots of time faults here, but that doesn't matter. We're just looking for this young lady to finish the course off in a confident attitude and manner. Nicely over the last. So I know she's had a couple of stops there, or a stop, but she should be pleased with herself there to just get the horse round to where she wanted to finish off rather than eliminated. So we're now moving on to Switzerland. This is Mike Smits, and he brings a score forward of 16 on the 2008 Gelding Lantero van der Hoof. Had some good placings back in Italy, second in the 120 at the start of April. So comes here with a bit of form. Now he needs to keep it together. The horse is just starting to get away from him. Yeah, you could see that. That was just getting close. When it came down to the water tray, he was lucky to leave the front rail there because he just started to get a little bit strong. And that's the same as happening again. Just needs to try and use this corner now just to get a little bit of breaks, which he's doing. Just to try and get himself set up for this last line. Little rub, sit up tall. He's tried everything there to hold that together. He's finishing on 8 faults. So he's improved on his last score. He's tried everything down that last line. That's what I say when you see these big horses, when they do get rolling on, these riders are still only young, and that's really difficult to hold them together when they start to pull and get away from you. We're now going to Great Britain. And this is Jasmine Chamberlain on Woodview's Willow. Unfortunately eliminated in the first round. So we'll be looking to try and get the confidence back this round. Riding on a much more forward tempo this round. No, she's having a couple of fences down, but the tempo is a lot more forward. So the horse isn't pressurising itself over the back rails. So the confidence is staying in the animal, and she's been able to ride forwards, round the corners. I really do think nerves are a huge part to play in these team competitions. Hopefully coming home nicely. Up over the last, so she's turned that around, well done. To finish on 12. It's nice to see, she should be pleased with herself there. She's finished off with a good round. So we're now across to Portugal. And this is C and Victor Z, the Zangerside Bay Gelding, ridden by Maria Sequalas, and she brings forward a score of 8 faults from the first round. Starts off well there, she's come inside the Swan So he's improved on his score from the previous round. So he's taken forward 4 from that round and 8 from the previous round. We're now moving into the nitty-gritty part of it. So we're now moving into France. And this is Melina Ballou, Cannabis de l'Albion. And she brings forward a score of 4 faults in the first round. Just wants to just pick up the rhythm now, get that double out the way, which she's done. That was better, that was a lot softer. Now she's keeping a nice rhythm round the turn. Nicely through the combination, down to the water tray. Keep it up together now through the turn. And up and over the last, and she's clearing inside the time, and she is chuffed a bit with that, and so she should be. 4 faults from the first and 4 faults from the second. We're now going to Germany. And this is GRC a cappella, Colin Wentz. And this was clear in the first round. The 2010 by Ludam. Oh, lucky to get away with that. Started off nice and confidently, but lucky to get away with that one. Just going to rebuild now around the turn. On the 4 at present with 3 to go. Nicely over the last to finish on 4 to keep the pressure on fractionally there with 4 faults. So the next rider is the Belgian rider, Chloe Holst, riding Perigoroso. Perigoroso is the Chestnut 2017 gelding, clearing the first round. And if she can get a clear here, this is going to really seal the deal for the Belgians. They've looked really impressive the whole team competition. Nicely into the combination there. The horse just composed itself and propped to give itself a nice bit of time in front of the oxer. Oh, just push the front rail there. So just need to get her thoughts together and just try and keep it to 4. Time should be okay. 81 seconds the time allowed. Doesn't want to be any slower. Nice and straight here. over the last, right for the line, nicely there to finish on 4, which will then put their team on 5. So we move to our final riders, and this is back with Sweden, and this is Tiger Rose, the 2011 mare by Heartbeat. Valenti Jarl on board, number 504, and they bring a score of 14 from the previous round. Nicely through the double there. This is a good round. 2 fences to go now. Little bit of miscommunication there. Just started to fight with it, and there, just down that last distance. Just started to fight on the bridle. Thought coming into the plank and then landed and just was fighting all the way down to the oxer. Didn't have a chance to jump the oxer there. Whilst they rebuild the fence, it just gives me a quick chance to look at the current standings. It looks like Belgium have got it sealed before the last rider. They are currently on a total of 5. France is sitting second on 8. Germany third on 16. And Spain equal third on 16. So their final riders have got it all to play for. And also Portugal are just behind on 20. So I think the winners are there, but the lower places are still all to fight for. Nice to see Tiger Rose just finishing off the round nicely there. So we're now moving to Switzerland, which is Nikita Galvin on the 2013 gelding by Ironman, Icon van der Podon Z, and they bring forward 4 from the last round. This is a good round so far. She's kept it all up together from the word go. Time should be okay as long as she keeps the tempo coming forwards now. She's not got long. She's got 10 seconds to go home. Get home. She's going to be tight here. Up and over the last. And just get set. And there you go. There's a clear round. 4 in the first round. Clear in the second. We're now going to Great Britain. And this is Rosie Campbell riding Appy de Chalet. The 2010 Stallion by Fountain de Monte. 12 faults in the first round. Their team are currently lying in 6th place at the present, but could jump up to 5th if we get a good round here. So we'll be looking for a nice confident round to finish off the team.
There's a place I go to when no one knows. It's not lonely. It's a necessary thing. It's a place I made up. Find out what I made up. The nights I stayed up, counting stars and fighting sleep. Let it
Nicely through the combination there. And very well balanced down to the water tray. She rode that really well down there. She just balanced the horse down the distance. Just keep the quality up. Time should be good. Down to the last, keep it to 4 over the last, and we're finishing on 4. So it's 12 from the first round, 4 from the second. Puts the team in 7th at the minute. And now we move to Portugal. And this is Martin Febreiro riding the Fablina T. 2010 mare by the Silverstone Stallion. 4 faults in the first round. Had some really good results back in Portugal, 2-star and 1-star back last year. So it's got good experience at riding in these type of arenas. So just needs to bring it all together to bring a final good round for the team. We can get a good round here. This will put a bit of pressure on Spain. Our lovely sunshine has now disappeared. We're now back to cloud and rain, which is a shame. Hopefully that won't be here all day. Just needs to be a little bit aware of time here, because if these teams are quite tight together for these lesser placings, a time fault could be really costly. It's just picked it up a little bit now. She should be fine now. If you jump in this plank with 10 seconds to go, you're home easily. Supports it at the last, and that's a really good round, and she knows it. Over the moon with that. So that's in 5th at the minute. It's all to play for. So we move on to Spain. And this is Ucas Rodriguez, and they are riding the Clown de la Moso, the 2019 gelding, and they were clear in the first round. Starting off nice and confidently, lovely through the double. Horse really jumping today, finished its jump off lovely over that spread. Now just needs to keep moving, which she's doing. She's well aware of that. She knows that time may be a factor in this. Nicely down to the water jump. Just needs to compose now, collect it. Just get it all together. Needs to get this horse back on its hocks and balance in the bridle before it makes this final turn to this plank. Which she's done. Just keep your composure now to the last. Sit tall. And she's over and inside the time. That is a very, very good round, considering that that's a real big pressure round for the team. And she's kept it together from the start to the finish. and she was clear in both rounds. I'm just looking back at my notes here. I think she's actually the only competitor so far to produce 2 clears in both rounds, so well done to her. Now going to France. So this is Zoe Vaughan Lady, and she is riding Akana Masia, the 2010 mare, and they bring a score forward of 0 as well. So with that round with Spain, there's some pressure on there, the German final rider, because they could hopscotch above Germany if Germany don't jump a clear round. It looks like France are going to be, whatever happens here, France are still going to take the second prize, because they can't get any worse than 8 faults. They would take forward 12, so they can't get beat either. So that looks like they've got the second, but it's still all to play for the lower placings. So France, this young lady's going to finish here on, she's going to finish her round on 12. So that means France will going to finish, they will drop her score, so they will finish on 8. So they are going to finish in second no matter what. And Belgium have already won it because they're going to finish on 5 anyway. So Germany now, here's a real pressure round here. Team are currently on 16. We want a real nice confident round if we can get it. This is Maximilian Fipel on Cartagena. Was first in the Nations Cup in Italy. Second in the 125 in Belgium a few weeks ago. So that's a costly fence as that puts them on 8 so far. Down to the last and jumps up, so she finishes on 8. So that's 8 from the first and 8 from the second. So Portugal have gone ahead of Germany now, and Spain have crept up as well. So Spain are in third. And the final competitor, which I thought would happen, has been withdrawn from Belgium because they don't need to go because they're on 9. So the Belgium take it, finishing on 9. France are second, finishing on 12. And Spain are third, finishing on 16. So they're the top 3, closely followed by Portugal, Germany, Switzerland, and then Great Britain. This is the second leg of the 9 qualifiers throughout the year. The standard of riding's been absolutely top class. The course builder has really got it together with this course, has given them a real test from the word go. I think all the fences have found someone round the course. There's lots of turnbacks, lots of related distances, and down the middle of the course, down the combination to the water tray was really trappy, and nobody was clear until they jumped the last line on the turnback from the plank to that real square oxer at the end. I think what we need to remember is so many of these riders are so young riding the horses, they've got to keep together. But it was nice to see that all the riders improved from the first round to the second round, And like I say, this is built to give these young riders and these children an education to be producing into the sport. So it's nice to see them improve. Belgium really shone through today, thoroughly deserved the victory. So that's finishing the children and horses class today, kindly sponsored by Kineton. And we have got the juniors, the young riders, which is the juniors, which is due to start at 12 o'clock French time, of 11 o'clock English time. We've got a good number of teams coming forward to that, so do get back online just before 11 o'clock English time or 12 o'clock French time, and we will see you all back online then. But well done to Belgium here, and well done to everyone that's taken part, because the standard was extremely high and the course builders really tested you all. So we'll see you all back online just before 12 o'clock French time.
Wanna be you and me. Gonna be everything you ever dreamed. Wanna be who you need. Gonna be everything. Wanna be you and me. Gonna be everything you ever dreamed. Wanna be who you need. Gonna be everything.
like you want nothing left behind. That's what you think, but you're not fooling anyone. You're tiring yourself out with your ups and downs. You miss the chance to meet yourself every time. And once you've tried out the tale, you stop the game, fall till you touch the ground. And once you've cried out the pain, you feel the same, you're ready to love. You're talking like you cast a spell with your eyes. Your voice is sweet and hides a thread at the same time. And once you've tried out the tale, you stop the game, fall till you touch the ground. And once you've cried out the pain, you feel the same, you're ready to love. And once you've tried out the tale, you stop the game, fall till you touch the ground. And once you've cried out the pain, you feel the same, you're ready to love. And once you've cried out the pain, you feel the same, you're ready to
T'en sais rien, oh t'en sais rien. Jusqu'où tiendra le mirage, l'illusion que tout va bien. Mais t'en sais rien, oh t'en sais rien. Tu souris comme une image, est-ce au diable ou au Saint?